I'm so sorry. I was making a little video about Andrew Malkinson, and I collapsed into a spluttering guffaw of coughing. And this wasn't a reflection on Malkinson or indeed on British justice, but it might have been. It might have been because our justice system seems to have got caught up in tardiness and delay. It's not just the Malkinson case. And Malkinson is quite right. The apology from Helen Pitcher seems to have been dragged out of her only after an independent review by Chris Henley has proven that the whole thing, that his imprisonment and his persecution for refusing to say that he was guilty in the first place, the extension of his prison time, when in fact the system knew that they'd got the wrong person, it's outrageous. It's utterly outrageous. And the fact that there was a promise to pay him compensation, and that wasn't immediately forthcoming, and the Home Secretary at the time had every opportunity of meeting him and didn't. Alex Chalk had every opportunity of meeting him and didn't. It makes for a sober observation of the failure of our systems on a human level. And then we put it aside, we put it next to the windrush problem, still dragging on, the post office problem, dragging on and on and on, lots of chatter, but an inability to recognize that real human lives have been affected by the stupidity and the arrogance of a system which is more concerned with exonerating itself than exonerating the people who have been victimized by the system, by authority, by people with control. And similarly, the people who have suffered from the bad blood imports, the cheap blood imports from American prisons, people who have been given bad blood because they might, for example, be haemophiliac, and it was simply a matter of chance. And I was incredibly lucky in that case. I didn't get bad blood, but I could have done. And so I feel deeply aggrieved when I sit and watch this wringing of fingers, wringing of hands, like a sort of panoply of Uriah Heeps, an entire West End cast of Uriah Heeps tap dancing around the issues, and failing absolutely to deal with what Malkinson calls a world of pain. And too little, too late. Malkinson is right. Malkinson is completely right. And it's not just our justice system which looks bad, it's the political system which encourages the vilification of people who have been persecuted by the system, innocent people who have been hurt. Instead of praising them and helping them, the system seems to stamp down even further. It says it will do good, and it doesn't. It delays and delays and delays, and it hopes possibly they're going to die off before they have to stick their hand in their pocket. And it's wrong. And this is paralleled by the treatment of whistleblowers and the appalling, the heinous way in which whistleblowers are suppressed and treated with contempt and efforts are made on technicalities to strip them of their dignity, of their voice, for extraordinary statements. Like there's one really good statement that this is a contract which is not contractual. An NHS whistleblower had that thrown in his face. A contract is not contractual. Utter rubbish. And, when people try and question that, they're slapped around by methodology, by systems, and anybody trying to help them. They come up against the same brick wall of bureaucratic, I was going to say bureaucratic indifference, but it's not true. Bureaucratic belligerence. The idea that the system can be wrong, but the system is wrong. And then at the other extreme, you get twits like Liz Truss, also opining about the system being wrong, because it's not working for her. She's got a voice. Why has Mr. X or Miss Y, Mrs. Y, Johnny Y, why have these people been denied their voice when Liz Truss never seems to get off the television set? Why? And it simply seems wrong. If you've got power in this country, if you've got power, you've got a voice. And everything is done to take the voice away from those people who feel powerless and who have tried to do the right thing.